G'day YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to the Dinosaur Tour Review. Today is actually quite a much more cooler day outside. And in fact on Friday we had a great amount of rainfall. I don't know about Saturday, but it did rain. I wouldn't say it's that much. Sunday, of course, today did receive quite a lot of drizzly rain, but it wasn't that much as well, just like before, yesterday. But today is kind of windy in terms of meteorology. I tell you what, guys, I have to say this is so different to the hot summer that we had earlier on this week. On Monday and Tuesday, they were bloody hot. In fact, very deadly, dangerously hot, actually. Let's just hope that temperature never happens again. But anyways, let me just go ahead and grab the webcam, because what we've got today is something very peculiar. And yes, I'll be doing vlogging on August, in the shape of doing toy reviews. So, yes, and actually we've got a beautiful train set here of a Disney musical train that doesn't have any silly sound chips, which is a good thing. But it's quite a nice looking train. I bought that from Malaysia. It's an amazing looking toy. I've actually bought for 2022 home. I just hope that the gear clutches aren't really that bad on that train. I do worry that the clutch on the front of the train, that that back wheel may start to play up there, but I just hope it wouldn't though. But nevertheless, it is quite a nice looking train that I got it from Malaysia. Let's just hope it's not a waste of money. And the tours we're going to be having, in fact, today is actually a lot more cooler, even though summer's not over yet. I'm just so glad that we've got the cooler weather from now on, I suppose, hey? But let's go ahead and take a look at one of our toy cars first, because remember I showed you these two here? Back in June of 2022, I think I did 2 separate videos on these toy cars. They were fairly amazing. In fact, they were fairly awesome to look at. But I've actually got another one in my hands, and let me just show you. It's this car here. Okay, so it didn't make any booming sounds or engine revving sounds. This car is actually based on a Vauxhall Corsa, but it's called the Skreemerz Corsa, if you can think of it. CO72 SJY. It's quite an amazing vehicle. ESRI and ZSR. It's quite an amazing looking car. I love the rims. Lovely details on the wheels that makes it kind of funky. It's got a bit of a very strange looking face. I don't know what expression this is. Maybe it's kind of a bit of a slightly cheeky but also nervously cheeky sort of face. Obviously, it looks kind of pretty awesome. There's the license plate at the front though. I bet the green pretty much means that this car is an electric. Yeah, it's actually based on an electric car actually, I suppose we need a lot more electric cars on footpath roads, because, having too much of those 2 cars here, bad for the environment. But with this car here, this one's a greener, because you can tell by the front there. And also on the back, the car's name is Cornie, not Corey. Cornie, yes, I think it's called Cornie. It's a Skreemerz Corsa, and yes, it's basically an electric car. And the components of this car, yes, the components are made in the UK, China, and Thailand. So yes, that is an amazing trio of the countries and where this car has been made in. So yes, I fully assembled this car in the UK with some components made in China, especially the axles, I suppose. But yes, made in UK for the boxes and also the paper as well. But also this top piece, actually this top section here is made in Thailand, except for the roof. But yes, it is quite an amazing looking car. I love the view cap at this side of the car here, which looks fairly accurate. Lovely blue eyes. In fact, it looks very similar to this red one here, Valley Ramirez. Do I remember this car name? Of course, it looks very similar. But taking a look, this car is a tad shorter and smaller than the other cars I reviewed before. So it's a little dinky, and it's made from the same kind of method as what I did in previous cars, like this one here, and also that one there before. And hey, still quite a nice looking pair of cars. Let me drive those off. And it's so often that, hey, I feel like I'm very good at making cars and building cars. I know they take a couple of days to produce, but this guy here is a winner. Oh yeah, I love the front headlights at the front, and also the back as well. That looks pretty Opel or Vauxhall-ish. if you live in Australia, you would obviously call these Holdens, but sadly they're no longer in the roads of Australia these days. Sadly, apart from the countries in which this car is made in, you've also got the licensing info on the top. It's quite an amazing car. To be fairly honest, it's still quite a nice little dinky looking car. And speaking of cars, we've also got something pretty festive is upcoming for Generation 129, set to be released on the 1st of September. There's a bit of a spoiler alert. Dun dun dun! It's a double trouble of Christmas cards, and you would have never thought I'll be doing Christmas in July. Well, think again. There you go. Driving home for Christmas. I've actually got 2 of those cards. And obviously, to show you proof that I've actually got 2, maybe there's a whole bunch of people who are thinking I'm just playing games at the moment of making YouTube videos like that. Well, no. I've actually made 2 of those cards here. So what's good about having 2 of those cards is that I'll basically try and give some of those away. In fact, I might give this one away. I don't know which one here. I can't tell which one's the one I first made. I believe is the one I first made, and that there is basically a redraw. So I did 2 of those for the sake of making batches and batches and batches of Christmas cards. And if I open up the cards, that's what it looks like. Merry Christmas and a road to a Happy New Year to you. Here you go, that's what it looks like. I love the stars into it. It looks very, very basic. It looks very Disney Pixar car-esque. I love the details that look very Christmassy-esque. I suppose it's Valley McRamirez, rendered as a reindeer-looking car. Fairly awesome. I love the aesthetics. I suppose that's this guy. It's meant to be this guy here, I think. Obviously, you drive off. Oh, sorry. Let me just clear some space. Let the other car go by. Go on, Valley. And you two, Cornie. Sorry, I called you Cornie. Actually, it's Cornie, yes, sorry. Why do I feel like I'm going to call this guy Corey and not Cornie? Okay, off you go, Sonny. I think your name's Sonny, right? Okay, yes, I think he agrees. Did you just do a jump there? Sorry about that one, eh? Anyways, we've got 2 of those Christmas-themed cards, and also as proof to you guys, as a bit of a brain teaser for you guys, I've actually designed something on the back. Look at that! A Christmas 2022 logo! Hooray! The more the merrier, the more Christmas is there. There you go, that is a very beautiful slogan. Or to put here or there, I don't know. There's the other one at the back, but this one's actually kind of different because that's actually the first one I've attempted to make. That there was a second attempt to make this, and it's very impossible to get everything perfect to make this card look like this. But sadly, I'm not always that perfect, aren't we? And happens to all of us. If anyone's trying to make batches of the same card to have the same artwork, yes, everyone does it differently, and it all doesn't matter. Also, look at the licensing info. It's also a bit different. So maybe I should try and maybe give this one away. I'll keep the original, but I will give this one away because I know this one's a bit of a redraw. But I'll remember those 2 as... Sorry, this card's taking a die face. Sorry about that one, guys, I'll remember those 2 there as being the first Christmas 2022 items I've got on the menu. And to show you the logo again, that's what it looks like. And hopefully that will be the logo that will be hopefully implemented hopefully during Generation 129, which hopefully will be released on September of this year. Hopefully first rolling out the first Christmas 2022 themed products and Halloween products as well that I've got coming up sooner or later. For about 2 months' time, once the cold air will return or the chill of autumn will come and then winter will roll in and make Christmas something fairly merrily awesome. Yes, it looks pretty cool. Also, I love that cow art style beam mouth at the front of that car. It just makes it so funky and cartoony. Sorry, I almost said something very bad. But anyways, let's move on to some water toys. We've got the train in the background, and of course, yes, the weather outside is a lot more different. In fact, it's a tad windy and a bit breezy. It's a much cooler day as well, and it's also not that humid. sadly I'm starting to lose a bit of summer humidity because, you know, summer humidity also promotes rain, doesn't it? Absolutely true. Sorry, I got a car dropped in onto the floor, but I think it's alright though, hopefully the next toys I'll show you are some beautiful looking Waterbird toys, and I think the first one I might kick off is this one here. It's a Flipper Origami British Wildlife Collection, common Eurasian green-winged teal dark swimming dual pack. It costs about £3. The back of the packaging looks like that, bit of a cartoon sort of, almost looks like a lucha libre whenever I see that duck, and a very sort of puzzled looking female duck. Might as well go ahead and pack this. And as a bit of trivia, I've already seen this bird at the local Samuel Valley Reserve in, I think it was actually before Christmas. But I also came across this bird again 2 years later in April 2022. I actually realised that these two were looking like they were either going to breed or they were going to be preparing for their northerly journey up into Scandinavia. So teal are mainly, how would you say it? They're mainly more of a wintering sort of duck species, but as interesting as it sounds, they kind of do breed. I think there's about 2,100 pairs breed in the UK, and in the winter, 200,000 of these guys winter here, or spend the winter here, to escape the cold winters, of course. There you go, it's got that beautiful green speculum sides at the left and right, of course. Lovely details in that duck. Obviously, it's got a very nice looking chestnut, reddish looking head, the male, with a greenish and yellowish looking colorization at the back of the head. Fairly nice, isn't it? Alright. And also, if I look underneath, there you go, there's the name, common Eurasian green teal, or should I say green winged teal drake. Drake being a male sort of duck there, of course. And if I bring this one here, there you go, that's a female. It's got the name. How obvious would that be, eh? As mundane as it sounds, yeah. But to me, whenever I think of common teal, they're not really mundane as what you would say tufted duck or mallard. I would obviously say they're the two more kind of sort of ubiquitous species of duck. I see these two as being a bit of a rarity because I don't often see these a lot. But hey, it's actually fairly nice indeed to have those guys, hey, joining in the British Wildlife Collection toy range. Okay, let's move on to another flip-flap product. And it's going to be this product here. And this one here, I've actually made this, I made another product based on this species here, the red-breasted goose. This one's a 5-pack. It's a swimming small flock of red-breasted geese. It's a 5-pack, costs about £5.50. It's not a British Wildlife Collection toy because I think they're mainly found in Eastern Europe during winter, and I suppose they're found in, well, in the Arctic during the summer. I wouldn't say the R word because, you know, the letter R represents a country that has been, well, obviously upsetting Ukraine now. And let's just hope I can't get those Putin references. If I did, I'll be demonetized. And dead, obviously, eh? But let me go ahead and take a look at these geese. Obviously, I went to Dudley Zoo just before Easter 2022, and they look fairly nice. There you go, that's what they look like. Just wings that look like that. Oh, sorry. And there's the other side here. Fancy that one, hey? I love the details on the head. It looks a bit goosey. And of course, yes, they have got a bit of a name here as well. You know, whenever I think of these geese, they are kind of related to barnacle geese and Canadian geese, going by their design. But like barnacle geese, I've actually realised that these guys are a tad slimmer than what I've actually have seen before. It's quite an amazing sort of design, actually, seeing red-breasted geese. And to be quite obviously honest, hey, wow, those guys look really amazing indeed. I obviously tend to say that red-breasted geese, they are pretty much native to that part of Europe, being, you know, the Arctic and also Eastern Europe. But I've actually seen those before. I think the first time I've seen one of those was at St James's Park in London, obviously, eh? Yes, I do know that they are found in Eastern Europe and the Arctic seasonally. But I suppose in the UK, if they were introduced in Western Europe and all places like that, well, they'll be spending all year round. And joining in with other wintering geese species, I suppose. So let me just put that one away. Back to its back onto its original packaging. Up it goes. And the last but not least set is this one here. As conspicuous as it sounds, it's a flipper origami British Wildlife Collection. Domestic Greylag Geese Trio Territorial Takeover 5-pack, £5.95. There you go, that's the back of the packaging, which looks like that. We've got some kind of very weird, sort of freaked out cormorant with a cranky and angry looking Greylag Geese, which is a domestic one, obviously, because of its white colorization instead of grey. But anyways, geese don't have to be white or grey if they are domestic. Okay, so this product here really does talk about large water birds. Okay, on a wild goose chase, sorry for the pun, we've got a couple of Greylag geese which are domesticated. Just plain white, apart from those sloppy specks of naming, I suppose so. There you go, that's the name, domestic Greylag goose. Okay, obviously it's very, very similar to what I've designed before in January of 2022. I think that's the first time I've actually made those. There's another one there. Out there looks fairly nice with that beautiful colorization here. There you go, domestic Greylag goose. It's a fairly nice looking design. Then you've also got this beautiful great crested grebe, which obviously is in a beautiful breeding summer plumage. I tell you what, by autumn time, I bet they'll be losing this colorization once as we roll into something fairly nice. There's its beautiful wings, which look like that. As funny as it sounds, there you go, there's the name, Great Crested Grebe. Look at that feather tufts on the side of this bird. Looks a bit, how do you say it, pointy and dagged looking. That's what Great Crested Grebes are. And then we've also got this cormorant, and this cormorant looks fairly, look, whenever I look at it, it looks fairly, doesn't look bland, it looks fairly nice. This is an excellent looking rendition of a cormorant, the Great Cormorant, as honest as it sounds, that's what it's called, but yes, it's still an amazing, oh sorry, I've just attacked the other bird, it's quite an amazing water bird. Maybe I need to make some domestic ducks and geese from next week, To be honest, that would have been a very good treat, just to think of it, I mean, even if we included both the Great Crested Grebe and the cormorant, which are kind of unique because of the colours that they use, it's pretty obvious to say that they are a nice looking treat in this product here. And I suppose I think that's going to do it for this toy review, because obviously that's about it. And not only that, but I think this toy review has actually been very, very simple. And just before I should actually end this video, of course, yes, I've got vloggers, which will happen around the 1st of August till the 31st of August. So from September the 1st, 2022, there'll be none of that going around here. It's only just an August tradition. So yes, making vlogs in August is something I might do. Anyways, if you really enjoyed this very amazing flipped up toy review of those two Christmas cards that I've just spoiled as some kind of spoiled alert for 2022, the very end of 2022, and also this car here. Well, no, that's an amazing looking car. You can't go wrong with cars like that. And also those toys here, the Waterbird toys, they're actually fairly amazing looking at that. So, if you really enjoyed this very impressive toy review of various miscellaneous toys I've actually had a look at in this video, please give this video a like, subscribe for more flip-up videos in the future, and hopefully, from about 5 months' time, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year as well though, even though it's about midsummer as I'm making this video. And bye for now. And we've got a car dropped on the floor. Sorry about that, guys, That didn't go too well, Sorry about that. Anyways, bye now again, bye.